toward anyone we dislike, all right, then the word doesn't actually mean anything.
Okay, what do you want me to say, Anna? You want me to say wannabe dictator?
Sure, you can say wannabe dictator, but I don't even think he wants to be a dictator.
Of course he does. That's what you do when you lose an election and you go, oh, I got fake electors.
So it seems like Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks and this Emma Vigeland, I don't know how to say her name, from the Majority Report are having some beef. So let's see what's going on.
Or TYT and MR. I don't want to start shit between your programs, but Anna repeatedly downplays Project 2025, stating that all the fear-mongering during his first administration didn't come to pass, not understanding that administration's competence as well as those in his... All right, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but you mentioned, yeah, now she's against calling Trump a fascist. I did see this. So, you know, I mean, look...
I just thought that was bait, though. Like, no offense. I'll let you get into it. But, like, I saw that tweet yesterday, and I was like, is this not just, like, bait? It's not engagement bait.
A trial period.
Like, it was just, like, wrong. Like, every point in it was, like, incorrect. About fascism, about, like, Trump. Yeah. So, like, it was just some words.
Well, I guess we'll comment on it just because, like, look, I mean, I'm just couching this by saying that, you know, it's not a personal attack. This is one about substance, right? And, you know, Anna in the past has been supportive and a good friend to me. So I feel compelled to say it's not personal, but I do feel like this is dangerous, what I saw yesterday. You know, to downplay Trump's threat to this country right now in this moment, for me, this is not an unaligned or an independent opinion. To me, this is to the right of Nikki Haley voters. This is, I saw this on Twitter, Anna Kasparian here basically saying, reacting to, was it, no, this wasn't J.D. Vance's comments. This was basically a conversation about fascism. I didn't have the full context.
Earlier, they were listening to Mika Brzezinski on The View, who got emotional talking about Trump's threat as a, you know, fascist presence in the U.S. and what might happen if he becomes elected.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's where this stemmed from, where they started to talk about fascism.
All right, here we go.
Trump is deeply racist and he says deeply racist things, okay? I want to make a distinction between Donald Trump, the person who says and does racist things, and the notion of a fascist. Because look, if we're just going to use fascist toward anyone we dislike, all right, then the word doesn't actually mean anything.
Okay, what do you want me to say, Anna? You want me to say wannabe dictator?
Sure, you can say wannabe dictator, but I don't even think he wants to be a dictator.
Of course he does. That's what you do when you lose an election and you go, oh, I got fake electors. And I'd like to terminate the Constitution and bring out the tanks and use martial law against American citizens and shoot protesters. I mean, if that's not fascist, then I guess the word just shouldn't exist.
But was he able to do those things?
First of all, his entire cabinet had to threaten, not cabinet, administration, his White House team had to say, we're all going to mass resign if you roll out tanks against American citizens.
Okay, so if you think he's a fascist, wouldn't that justify taking physical action against him?
No, because that doesn't help. That devolves us further into fascism.
Whoa, what a straw man.
Exactly.
Can you pause it, actually?
There's a difference between somebody...
I guess I didn't see that part, but what, I mean...
If he's a fascist, why aren't you, what is the guy who tried to kill Hitler? Ribbentrop or something like that?
Right.
No,
I mean,
Ribbentrop. Yeah,
it's a way to continue to delegitimize what Cenk is saying there, and Cenk is absolutely right. I mean, look, if she wants a definition, fascism is a political ideology that started, it's an outgrowth of Mussolini and Hitler's reigns at the start of the 20th century. You can characterize it as highly militaristic, nationalistic, anti-democratic, a political movement that encourages violence against leftists, against LGBTQ people, minority groups. Sorry, what'd you say, Brandon?
I said marginalized groups. Yeah, go ahead.
Marginalized groups, right? Or anyone that's opposing you, and you know that can involve like
So it's funny there that, you know, Anna in that clip brought up a good point about, well, you know, if he's such a fascist, then why wouldn't it be okay to do, like, wouldn't it be kind of like not a duty, but a good thing to try to take him out? So why is he such a fascist? But yet, if someone tries to, you know, make an attempts on his life, on Donald Trump's life, why is that all of a sudden wrong to Cenk? And this woman right here, Emma Vigeland, I'm just going to call her that. Sorry if I'm getting her name wrong. Emma Vigeland, she's trying to say, no, that just delegitimizes it. But what's the difference between, you know, the attempts on Trump's life and the recent assassination of that CEO? Like, why is it okay, you know, everyone views that CEO as this horrible guy because he's the CEO of a healthcare company, and they're celebrating it like it's a good thing. Oh, but when it comes to Donald Trump, well, wait a minute. No, that's not a good thing. So what is it? Like, it's clear that you probably don't mean what you're saying about Donald Trump. So that's, you know, Majority Report taking shots at Anna Kasparian and the Young Turks for what they had to say. So let's look at this other clip right here. This is more recent. Let's see what they have to say. Well, this is from a different show. This is The Vanguard, and they're just talking about how Emma and Sam Cedar are going after the Young Turks. So let's see.
Someone who has been a paid sub for the show and TYT for more than 5 years and watching both almost daily for more than 10 years, I implore you to stop commenting on the selectively clipped videos that circle leftist Twitter. TYT has some bad takes, but they and the show are ideologically aligned on 98% of the issues. They are not doing a rightward shift. They are solidly progressive and on the left. TYT does a ton of shit
I'm pretty sure Jank sent in this IM, by the way. Yeah.
to get people involved. Are you actually like IMing to get us started talking about this?
It's also just
Actually
not
from the
true. I'm
Vanguard.
sorry. Like, you know, I don't really watch their show anymore. I find a lot of the yelling all the time a little bit difficult. But like, I mean, the idea that they're not doing a rightward shift is just not true.
I
It's
believe
been
one of them
pretty
explicitly
obvious.
said that they were to the right of Democrats on the border, and in addition to all the crime stuff. So yeah, there's a disagreement. There are disagreements here, and we have to address them, and we try to do so as adults.
And we're not, you know, I don't think certainly we have not spent time just simply like sort of like generally attacking TYT.
No, they leave that to
Those
us.
bad takes that you talk about, we are addressing when they come. So we probably skip, you know, I don't know,
Dozens.
70% of them, frankly.
I don't like talking about it, but I also feel like at the same time, just because it's uncomfortable given like my past personal relationships, but we need to combat. I think some of this is dangerous. I really do think that normalizing Trump and MAGA and perpetuating right-wing narratives such as that Colorado story about Venezuelan migrants, which ended up being,
Lying.
what do you know, as we indicated when we covered it, a slumlord basically who had previously had a bunch of complaints from the city of Aurora, who was trying to get out of doing repairs on
And by the way, I just want to say, not that I at all criticize the coverage.
Well, that might explain the Aurora, but what about the other Venezuelan migrant gangs taking over other apartment buildings? It's not like that's the only one that happened to. It's happened to a few others in America where Venezuelan, you know, migrant gangs or whatever took over apartment buildings. So are they just all the case of slumlords? But yet again, here's the Majority Report attacking the Young Turks for, this is what the left does. You know, they attack anyone who goes slightly against what they have to say. They call it dangerous, and that's what's going on here with the Majority Report and the Young Turks. So let's take this clip. This one's an older one, but this continues with them attacking the Young Turks for opinions that don't exactly align with theirs.
broken. I don't know what's going on, but they froze basically at the start of the show, and then they aren't coming back. And I tried to refresh, then I lost all of them. But I did see an IM that I just wanted to respond to really quickly because I didn't want, like, they actually are broken, but I felt like people might be like, you're dodging this. I'm not. So I saw that my dear friend Anna Kasparian kind of went viral with a tweet, and some people wanted me to weigh in on it. And I just like, look, she, as I said, dear friend of mine, really good person. I don't think she's anti-trans. I don't think that's really even a question. She has a long track record in this space, and I think her track record should speak for itself. She's been in this space for a long period of time and has done a ton of great work. However, like I really do disagree with the emphasis. Like I think it's wrong to overinflate the usage of kind of awkward language like birthing person, both in frequency and in terms. of the stakes involved when someone is referred to by that language, because it's awkward. I get it. It's stilted when being used in non-medical or technical terms, but I think that's like kind of the extent of the critique, right? It's awkward. It doesn't take away anyone's rights, and it's not when being used right now in that context, it's not taking away anyone's rights. And like, as a cis woman myself, I just think it's more important to put into context that, like, while you might not enjoy the technical language, that awkwardness is inevitable in this current climate and necessary, because we're trying to like fortify walls right now, as trans erasure is widespread right now. Like, there's a barrage of deliberately trans exclusionary language, which is what some of the awkward, stilted terminology is meaning to beat back. And that trans exclusionary language is really just the tip of the iceberg for systemic erasure. So being diligent about combating that, I mean, that's at the forefront of my mind. So, like, again, I've tried to say this before. From my point of view, so much of what we do in this business, very small business, and I will reiterate that, like, Anna, in my opinion, is one of the very few good ones. But we have a disagreement here. Like, it's just, so much of what we do isn't just how we cover something, it's what we cover, it's story selection, it's what we emphasize. And anyone in private has the right to have preferences about how they want to be identified. But in my position, member of the media, member of the left, the progressive left, being kind of spokespeople for the progressive left in an online media space, I just think we have a greater responsibility. And
so there's that, going after Anna Kasparian because she didn't want to be called a birthing person, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know, she makes the argument about, well, how is calling someone a birthing person taking away anyone's rights? It's not. Well, okay, with that logic, calling a trans woman, or even a man isn't taking away their rights either. What right is being taken away from a trans woman if I just go, oh, you're a dude or something like that? It's not taking away any of their rights. So it doesn't make any sense. So this is all led up to this Twitter beef, this X beef, Anna Kasparian and Emma Vigeland, I don't know. It finally came to a head, because I guess this Emma, she used to work for the Young Turks. Now she's on the Majority Report. And now it's finally come to the head. They're going back and forth on Twitter. So let's see what, I guess it starts off with this tweet right here. Let's see what Emma had to say here. Dues have gone toward returning this guy's investment instead of to the TYT employees who have better politics than the main hosts. So this is from 2017. So TYT got an investment of $20 million. Wow. But they're the small time. They're the small time mom and pop networks, right? According to Cenk Uygur. Emma right here, to be fair, some of it probably also went to hiring a union busting law firm. Ooh, shots fired. So then Anna responds here, yet another sign of her pathetic dishonesty. Emma was employed by TYT when the company announced recognition of the union. These cheap shots to make herself look like a class warrior crack me up, especially when she advocates that we all shut up and take when someone assaults us on public transportation. Not wanting to get punched in the face is a bougie concern, after all. Wow. All right, then Emma responds, unclear what this means. I'm a member of a union. If that's a shot at my upbringing, I'll let my work speak for itself. The TYT NLRB complaint is public. I've tried to keep our differences professional. I loved you as a friend at one point. I'm sorry you've gone down this road. No, you didn't try to keep shit professional, Emma. You've been mocking me, especially and running your mouth for a year. Your regression into cheering on crime, in addition to your identitarian streak, is grotesque. And then someone else responded, this is how leftists are. One of the reasons I left, all opportunists and friendships are transactional and easily severed. Also, too, right here with Emma, like her response, like she knows what Anna meant. Because Emma was making the claim that they use that money to bust up unions. But Anna said that, no, Anna was here when we announced the recognition of a union. So basically it's a false claim because they're saying they have a union or they recognize the union, whatever's going on there, unionized over there at the TYT. But Emma's saying, oh, well, they hired a law firm to bust up that union. So now Anna is bitter because, you know, as I've showed in those clips, Emma has been going after her for a year. And so now it looks like stuff's getting personal. Just more of the case of the left eating the left. It's always great to see left on left violence. Kidding, of course, it's a joke. Not really down for violence. Let me know what you think about this whole beef. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue on the Majority Report, maybe even on the TYT. Let's see where this goes. Sound off on your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy content like this. And if you do enjoy content like this, I got a whole bunch more stuff on the screen for you to check out and enjoy.